Hi, I'm Doc M. I'm the president of Dendrotonics Corporation, and we do agrowood and agroforestry. Right now, dito tayo sa Siargao. We have an appointment for agarwood. Agarwood is a native tree ng Philippines. Tapos yung kahoy na to, ginagawa siyang insenso for the Arab race, and it's very, very expensive. Ako ay isang surgeon. So I do trauma, cancer, and general surgery sa Quezon City tsaka sa Metro Manila area. Well, prestigious yung work namin as a doctor, as a surgeon. We're well respected in the Philippines and maganda naman ang income. Kaya lang, we're exchanging our time for money. So, a successful surgeon means I do a lot of operations for the whole year. If I become really successful, I won't get to go home. That's the price for success sa field ng medicine, surgery. So, I became provincial surgeon in Romblon. That was 2012 to 2014. And nung time na yon, pag wala akong pasyente, I was buying mahogany plantations and then selling them to lumber yards sa Metro Manila. The income is good. So timber plantations, agroforestry, that's where I learned it's a very profitable business. Ako, prangkahan, I was in it for the finances. I wanted a better source of income, more time for myself. And so that's why I went into agroforestry. Although interesado naman talaga ako sa mga puno at saka sa environment. When I was doing the timber trading, yung mahogany kasi yung tinitrade namin noon, mababa yung benta nila sa mahogany, which is not native to the Philippines. And yung lumber yards, they were looking for native species like lawaan, tangili, apitong, dao. They were buying these at much higher prices. So doon nagsimula yung passion ko for native trees. It was pure economics at start. And then later on, as I did that, nare-realize ko how rich the Philippines is, especially since I get to compare it every day in terms of economics, aesthetics, mas maganda yung mga flowers natin, mas mabilis lumaki compared sa exotic species. Hindi siya illegal, pero pag wala kang papeles, nire-regulate siya ng regulatory agencies natin, DNR, yung sa Cebu, sumama pa dun yung NBI. Ang kailangan para maging legal ang agarwood, kailangan una-una yung kinukuha mong seedlings, may papeles yon. Tinatawag yung papeles na yun na DNR LTP or Land Transport Permit. Tapos yung pinanggagalingan nun na nursery, meron din siyang papeles na registered yung nursery na yon. Negosyo ito pag hindi mo alam yung mga parte ng negosyo na pinapasukan mo, hindi, babagsak yan. So yung mga aspects ng business, meron yan galing sa pinakahuli, yung sales. Pero bago ka mag-sales, kailangan mo ng production. Magpapatanim ka, magsusurvive yung mga pinatanim mo, tapos yung legalities na banggit natin kanina. And then, andun pa yung may mga detalye pa siya, yung inoculation, magpo-produce ka ng agarwood mismo. So, importante lahat yan. Malaki ang bearing nito sa Filipino identity. Kasi pag sinabi mong Pilipino ka, it is equivalent to our native species. Lawaan, dao, tangile, yung sikat natin na ironwood dito sa Surigao, yung magkono. That is our identity. And aside from that identity, yung value niya, locally tsaka internationally, it's very high. So, yung natural resources natin is unique and tied up to our Filipino culture. Ang three remaining considers na kailangan i-consider sa agarwood, aside from sales, is first yung establishment mo, yung legalities. Kung mali yung papeles mo, hindi ka makakabenta. And then second is yung production, and then third is yung risk reduction. So pag sinabi natin production, you need to be able to produce the agarwood. Tapos risk reduction, kailangan mag-survive yung agarwood, matibay sa bagyo, tsaka hindi namamatay sa peste. So, yan. Let me give you specific examples. When we do agri-wood plantations, we don't monocrop. Kasi pag naka-monocrop ka, yun lang yung laman ng plantation mo, it sends out a strong signal to its natural pest. May natural pest kasi yung agri-wood eh. So, yung natural pest na yon, yung signal, malalaman nila na may buffet sa farm mo. In 10 to 15 years time, mauubos yung mga yon, pangit yung tubo, and to become profitable, gagastos ka na masyadong malaki sa pesticides. So, you have to intercrop. The purpose for intercropping is para ma-reduce yung signal na yon and hindi ka dadagsain ng mga peste, hindi magastos for intercropping, hindi mauubos yung plantation mo. That's an example of risk. So, another example of risk is meron kami ibang partners nagtanim ng 1,000 trees. And then, after 1 year, ang buhay na lang sa 1,000 nila, 200 na puno. So, imaginein mo, patay yung 800. Napatay mo yung 80% of your capital. That is risk. If you do not understand the risks of this business, hindi mo alam kung ano yung tatama sa'yo. Hindi mo malalaman kung bakit ka nalugi. Okay, sige. Inoculation yung tawag pag naglalagay ka ng substance sa loob ng puno para mag-produce ng agarwood. Yung inoculant na yun ay we produce our own local na inoculant, so gawang Pilipino. Ang presyo nun sa amin ay 300,000 pesos ang magagastos mo sa bawat 1,000 puno. There are inoculants galing sa ibang bansa. For example, ang pinakamahal sa ngayon, galing sa Malaysia, ang benta nila 4,500 kada 1 litro. Ang harvestable agarwood na ganyang kalaki, kailangan mo ng at least 3 litro para ma-inoculate yon. So, ibig sabihin, kung may 1,000 puno ka, ang gastos mo, 13.5 million. Laki, di ba? And then, merong isang inoculant galing sa Thailand. Kailangan mo ng 3 pakete para ma-inoculate yung 1 puno na ganito kalaki, yung harvestable size. Ang gastos mo naman sa 1,000 puno nun is 10.5 million pesos. So, malaki pa rin. Our closest competitor is from Malaysia ulit. Ang benta nila sa inoculant nila is 2.5 kada litro. So, sa kada 1,000 puno, ang magagastos mo is 7.5 million. So, laki ng diferensya. From our 300,000 per 1,000 trees hanggang sa pinakamurang competitor namin, 7.5 million pesos per 1,000 trees ang magagastos mo sa inoculant. Yun yung sariling formulation namin sa Dendrotonics. And yung isang bagay na yun, hindi namin yun binebenta. So kung hindi ka partner ng Dendrotonics, hindi mo makukuha yung inoculant namin. We don't sell it. We don't sell our inoculants. Kasi ang concept namin ng success is not to make money out of the people by selling them our inoculants. We don't want to make money that way. Our concept of success is if our partners produce yung expensive na inoculants and we're able to sell it for them, we make money in the process. So ang concept of success namin is yung mga partners namin, successful sila sa exporting the expensive agarwood. That's our success metric. Ang hirap namang sagutin yung tanong na yan. Pero nakaranas na kami niyan. Nakaranas na kami na sinubukan namin, nagbigay kami ng 100,000 pesos sa isang grupo ng mga Pilipino. Binigyan namin sila ng 1,000 puno. Tapos sabi namin, tanim nyo yan, ito yung panggastos nyo para sa pampapatanim. Pagkatapos ng 6 na buwan, yung 100,000 pesos, kalahati na lang yung natitira. And yung 1,000 puno, ang tinanim lang nila, 20 pieces. 20 seedlings lang ang tinanim nila. Di mo mapapagkatiwalaan ng tao na tatrabahuhin ng maayos yung negosyo na binibigay nila, lalo pag nakukuha mo ng libre. Yung mga tao na gumastos, pinaghirapan yung bagay para makuha nila, makakasiguro kami na talagang pinaghihirapan din nila para maging successful yung negosyo nila. So this applies to all aspects, whether may business ka or may trabaho ka. Hindi ito actually labanan ng mahirap sa mayaman. Ito ay usapan kung kaya mo siyang gawin. Kasi kung magtatanim ka lang ng 100, 200 puno sa bakuran mo, ang tawag doon small scale or backyard farming. Tapos export business ito dahil wala namang buyer sa Pilipinas. Hindi na we're not there yet. So dahil export business siya, mag-e-export ka, ililipad mo siya sa ibang bansa, tapos small scale farmer ka, backyard farmer, sa palagay nyo ba, kaya mong i-export yon mag-isa? Mahirap. So hindi practical yung magtatanim ka as backyard farming or small scale farming dahil export, mahirap siyang i-export. Kung gagawin mo siya na backyard farmer, small scale farmer, kailangan marami kayo, magsasama-sama kayo, tapos merong isa sa inyo, merong ibang tao ang mag-i-export nun para sa inyo, ililegalize kayo, i-organize kayo, ipaprocess yon sabay-sabay para lang maka-export yung small scale. So that is the only way it becomes feasible or workable. Yun yung serbisyo na gustong-gusto ng mga partners namin. Tinatawag namin yun full value chain. Ang ibig sabihin nun, hindi mo kailangan mag-alala kung mamamatayan ka ba ng seedlings. We make sure they survive. Tapos, we make sure you have the right documents, tama yung papeles mo, makaka-export ka. And then, yung export permits, kami nang gumagawa nun, hindi mo na rin kailangan maghanap ng buyers. So, ito, lahat ng headaches na kailangan mong pagdaanan sa negosyo, hindi mo na kailangan pagdaanan yon kasi kami na yung gumagawa nun. Wala ka ng malaking tuition fee sa pagkakamali. Medyo maambon konti. Blessings. So regarding sa export, Dendrotonics pa lang naman kasi ang sa buong Pilipinas ang nakaka-export ng legal agarwood. So we understand the legality. We understand the process. Bihira sa mga Pilipino na nakakaintindi ng sales and marketing. Komplikado yon. For example, kung wala kang consistent and large volumes, hindi ka makakuha ng magandang kontrata, hindi ka makakuha ng magandang presyo, babarating ka lang. In the first place, kung mag-isa ka lang sa negosyong to, tapos 100 lang yung puno mo, ang hirap niyang i-export. Kaya kami, even Dendrotonics, is collection kami, organization ng maraming mga plantation partners. So, yun yung mga complications ng export business. And we make it easy for our partners. We can declare that we have more than 100 planting sites nationwide. Pero yung exact number we have, it's confidential for now. Sige, I'll explain I'll explain the economics. Supply and demand. Pero yung more of the mindset ng mga Filipinos. So, ang minimum capital namin para sa agarwood is 3 million, which can produce a gross income of 40 million pesos after 5 years. Not everybody will do this kasi ang regular na Filipino, ang sasabihin nila, wala akong 3 million, ayoko nang abutin yung 40 million after 5 years kahit gusto nilang makarating sa lugar na yon. So ang mangyayari sa regular Filipinos, walang magbabago sa buhay nila. Uulit-ulitin lang nila kung ano yung meron sila ngayon. Pero yung mga mayayaman, there is a reason kung bakit sila mayaman. Kasi they understand na maliit lang ang 3 milyon para makarating sa 40 million. Hindi yon malaking bagay. Dito lang yon sa isipan. So, ang pinagkaiba ng mga tao na gumagawa nito is the mindset. They understand it. If you really want to change yung kalagayan mo sa buhay, kung ayaw mo nang paulit-ulit yung nahihirapan ka, you have to do something about it. Unang-una dyan, you have to change your mindset. That's where it all starts. You don't understand the market. Pero there is mangyayari nga yung ganon. Pero not in your timelines which you expect. It is not going to happen in 5 years or 10 years. Malaki kasi yung global demand. It is impossible for the Philippines to supply the global demand within the next 30 to 50 years. Malaki kasi talaga yung requirement ng Arab market. And in 30 to 50 years, sabihin nating bumagsak man yung presyo, ang magiging itsura niyan, babagsak siya from a minimum retail price of 400,000 pesos, babagsak siya to 300,000 pesos or 200,000 pesos. Kahit sabihin nating 50,000 pesos kada kilo, mas ayaw nyo pa ba yun? Oo, gagamitin natin yung higher end. Yung higher end na selling price for Philippine agarwood is 700,000 pesos per kilo. Sabihin natin, ang presyo na sinasabi ko ngayon is 700,000 pesos ang presyo ng agarwood per kilo. Sabihin natin, sinungaling ako, kalahati lang nun ang actual na presyo. 350,000 pesos per kilo lang. Okay na yun eh. Ang laking bagay pa rin yun sa kahit sinong Pilipino. That's still very big income. Kung mag-isa ka lang, no, hindi yan okay. So, hindi totoo yung sinasabi ng mga tao na tanim ka lang ng tanim, papapakinabangan natin yan. Unang-una kasi hindi nila alam yung legalities. Kung wala kang papel, hindi ka makakabenta. Pero yung 5 piraso lang yung tinanim mo sa bakuran mo, export business, walang buyer sa Pilipinas. Paano mo may export yon? Ang hirap, mahirap. The only workaway around that is, kailangan parte ka ng isang malaking grupo. Yung grupo na yon may kakayahan para ayusin yung papeles mo, gawin kang legal, bigay sa inyo yung processing, yung inoculation, punang kayo ng buyers. Magsama-sama kayo, ma-export nyo. So, yun lang yung tanging paraan sa ngayon para makapasok yung small-scale backyard tsaka individual farmers. Ang obligasyon po ng Dendrotonics is to develop the Philippines as the #1 exporter of agarwood in the world. Ang focus namin is develop the export industry. So sa ngayon, the fastest way to do that, kailangan natin yung fastest para ma-establish kagad yung Pilipinas, para maging successful kagad tayo, is export talaga. So meron kaming minimum requirements. The way we help small-scale farmers is, may mga kilala kami na may small-scale business models. Tinuturo namin sila doon sa small-scale farming. Para kung kailangan nila ng tulong, doon namin sila ituturo. Bawal yan. Ayon sa Republic Act 9147, pag may wild na punong kahoy, bawal siyang putulin. Illegal logging yan. Lahat tayo, galit tayo sa illegal loggers, di ba? Ayaw natin nun. Pag bumabaha, galit tayo sa illegal loggers. Pati yung mga corruption, nalilink natin yan sa illegal logging. So kung galit ka sa corruption, galit ka sa illegal logging, huwag ka rin mamutol ng punong kahoy sa gubat. Madali naman magtanim Madali naman magtanim tapos gawing legal yung negosyo. Republic Act 9147, ito yung conservation law. So, Wildlife Conservation Act. Dendrotonics is our company. It's the only existing registered agroforestry company in the Philippines. Pag sinabi natin agroforestry, nagde-develop po tayo ng mga businesses na ang final products natin is yung mga puno. So, kasama dito sa mga businesses namin is yung timber plantations, yung flower parks development, and our most popular business is yung agarwood production. So that's Dendrotonics. And we're a technology company. Our technology is specific or specialized sa agroforestry, reforestation. So yung isang business line namin na tinatawag na Flora Filipiniana, ang ibig sabihin nito, nagde-develop kami ng flower parks kagaya ng cherry blossom parks ng Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore at China. Mas magaganda po ang mga bulaklak ng Pilipinas and we can do better than them. So if we develop our own flower parks, magagawa rin natin yung $6 billion a year ng Japan. Malaki yon. So yun po yung potential ng ating mga native flowers sa Pilipinas. May branding po yon. Binrand na namin para sa mga Pilipino na Flora Filipiniana. Ang itsura nun, dadagsain tayo ng mga turista in 10 to 20 years from now para ma-appreciate nila yung mga native nating flowers. This is a boom sa ating tourism industry. Ang Siargao, sikat siya dahil sa surfing. Pero yung Flora Filipiniana Parks is something that we can develop all over the country. Meaning, hindi lang Siargao yung magiging sikat, pwede ring ibang lugar kagaya ng Masbate, Marinduque, Davao, Cebu, all these places. The whole Philippines will become a tourist hotspot dahil sa flowering seasons natin. Ganun po ang ginagawa sa Japan, pag cherry blossoms, ganun po ang ginagawa sa Taiwan, Hong Kong, China at Singapore. For Flora Filipiniana Parks, may showcase po tayo which is Gaia's Kitchen sa Tanay, saka Ayala West Grove. And we want to do more for the whole Philippines.
Given na parang ang bubble nga lang, ROI mo.
Mabagal ang ROI for Philippine Timbers. 5 years ang pinakamabilis sa kanilang tumubo yung white lawaan. So sa ibang bansa, 30 years yan. Pero yung sa atin, mas mabilis kasi tumubo. So meron tayong 5 years to harvest, 7 years to harvest, 10 years to harvest. Ang pinakamalaki naming timber plantation project is in Lake Cebu with the Tibuli tribe. Ito ay 47,000 hectares. And medyo matagal yan para bago natin mapuno. Pero sa lahat ng agarwood plantations natin, nagtatanim rin kasi tayo ng mga native trees kagaya ng lawaan, tangilid, dao, apitong. Kaya ang nangyayari, lahat ng agarwood plantations namin, they become biodiversity conservation areas. And they also become part of our timber plantation program. So, kulang na kulang tayo sa timber, sa raw material. And this one, we're trying to support our partners in producing these raw materials. The difference between Dendrotonics and all the agarwood service providers in the country, first and foremost, is the vision. We want to develop the Philippines as the #1 agarwood producer in the world. If we do that, our vision for the Philippines is we will be recognized as the supplier of the most important thing for the Arab and Islam race. We will be recognized as the supplier of the thing which makes them happy. So that is our vision. That differentiates us. The second would say yung second is even more important, yung values. The values we have is honor God, the Creator, build a great Philippines, and generate wealth for as many Filipinos as we can. So yun. And of course, included sa values na yan is yung ethics tsaka yung legalities of how we do business. Dendrotonics is set apart from other other agrowood companies because of our technologies. So yung technologies na yon includes the fast growth technology. Traditionally, ang agrowood production 7 to 12 years. Sa amin, you start from 3 years. Nagpo-produce na kami ng agarwood. So, hindi mo kailangan mag-antay ng matagal. Importante kasi yung oras nyo. So, the second one is our perpetual harvest technology. Ang traditional technology, after 7 to 12 years, harvest mo, tapos tanim kang panibago, wala kang income for 7 to 12 years ulit. Sa amin, when you harvest from this tree on year 3, we harvest again on year 4 from the same tree again on year 5, 6, 7. So, tuloy-tuloy yung income mo for 50 years. Perpetual harvest technology. We have one of the best inoculation technologies in the world, which is the least cost out of all agarwood companies. And we have our perpetual harvest technology, which allows you to plant 6,500 trees maximum sa isang hektarya. Why? It's cheaper, it's easier to manage 1 hectare versus 7.8 hectares. We make things easier for our partners and faster and bigger income. Message us, follow us on Facebook, Meron kaming regular webinars, so tinuturo namin paano gawin yung business, paano makapartner sa amin. Kailangan yung makita yon para maging partner namin. Sa mga post namin, screenshot nyo lang yung last slide and yung QR code, tapos yung link. Scan nyo lang yon para maka-attend sa webinars namin. Oo, try namin gawa ng paraan para ma-accommodate namin lahat ng interesado. It's free. Libre yan. Alright.